Yo. Okay. All good. Sweet. See you here. Hey, can you go to the Free Jacks YouTube, please? Yep. See you. Sweet. Peace. Test 1 2. 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 What was the call there?
I don't know, but one of the first times I've seen, not only they disallow your try, but they show you a yellow card. I don't know why it did.
Did he get a yellow?
Yeah, the Canadian.
Oh, wow. All right, we have a yellow and a disallowed try for the selects.
Opportunity here now on the left for number 14, Vinny Daly, but he is taken into touch. Strong cover defense there by the Atlantic Selects. And the Selects will have the opportunity to exit out of their own half. Number 9, Elliot Ryan with the ball. As he sets the scrum and feeds it off to number 10, Bradley Duncombe, who doesn't find touch. Yes, he does. That is a lovely touch finder there from the Atlantic number 10. And in turn, the Independents will have the ball back around about 30 metres out from the Atlantic line, and it'll be Connor Robertson to feed into the line out. Davidowitz takes it down and they set up for the driving maul, and here goes Palachek breaking away the redhead number 8 for the Independents. Strong with ball in hand. Here's Kawuma getting a bit of go forward ball for the Indies. Ranakama, a bit of football, and it's been dove on by number 13 for the Atlantic team, New Hook, and in turn they get the penalty as well. And the number 9, Elliot Ryan, will look to clear the touch and give the Atlantic Selects a good attacking opportunity deep into the Independence half. But to do that, you've got to find touch, and it's now Vinny Daly with the ball in hand, breaking 1-2, still going Daly. Eventually brought down. Flynn spots some space in behind, and it is a lovely wee kick as well, as Atlantic come back through Keith Graham with the tights on, and he bedazzles around a couple of Indies players before he's finally brought to ground. Just looking to get back into their shape here is the Atlantic side, as Dunscombe goes to the air for the box kick. No one underneath it. Miscommunication, and it has been snapped up by the Atlantic winger. The ball's still loose, and I think he may have come up with the try in the corner. I need to get the magnifying glass out to see, but the two referees will have a chat.
Hands go up.
And the try has been awarded. And it was Jimmy Clark for the Atlantic Selects. He rose into the air and grabbed the ball. Was brought to ground, but there must have been a bit of loose ball that he could snaffle up and go in the corner. The Selects up 12 points to 0. 14 minutes gone. As it'll be the number 9, Elliot Ryan, to look to add the 2 points on top of the try, and it came from his box kick as well. It was a lovely floating kick. Here goes Ryan, strikes it nicely, but just couldn't quite get the accuracy radar on point, so it stays 12 points to 0. The Selects in front here at Veterans Memorial Stadium.
Now, Wheels, from up here in the box, did not see the flags go up on that first try, so I believe the score is still 10
to 0, and I've just had confirmation of that from media and content manager for the Free Jacks. Mathematics, never quite my strong point, so it's always good to have a right-hand man. as the number 10 for the Independents. Patheli Rinakama will look to restart play with the headgear on. Rinakama restarts play. Number 8, Liam Carter, bounces off his shoulder, and now it's loose ball here. Can the Indies snap it up? And they sure have. Flynn feeds it off to Jordan Drain. Strong carry from Drain. Eventually brought down, and it's messy ball, but it has been illegally stripped out by the selects, which means the Independents will have a penalty around about 15 metres out from the Atlantic try line. And number 10, Pex, he'll look to go to touch and hopefully set a drive for the Indies here. Here goes Robinson with the ball now for the Independents. Camp rises to the sky and collects it cleanly. And they set up a trick play. Here's Soleil down the blind side. And bustled into touch. It was well constructed, but Atlantic just had the cover defence to get a two-man tackle on Soleil and bring him into touch. He is a very tough man to stop close to the line, but Atlantic have done so well. And it is Lanthea who will throw it into the line out for the selects. And it's cleanly taken by number 5, Montgomery. But the Indies putting in a real forceful drive here to try and make things hard. Be interesting to see if penalty is the call. Just trying to get clarity around what the decision there was from the referee. It looks as if potentially not releasing at the breakdown. And Atlantic will clear it out past the 22, and he does so very well. Does number 9, Elliot Ryan. Atlantic with the line out here. Lanthea feeds it in, and it's taken duly by Sand, as here he goes here again is Sinard for Atlantic. Ryan finds his big number 8, but it's messy ball out the back to his 10, Barnaby Dunscombe. Nice little offload there. Here's a bit of space if they can do it, but it's been intercepted by Vinnie Daly for the Independents. But in turn lost, and here's a breakaway now for Atlantic down the outside. Looks like Dunscombe, and he gets a lovely offload away, and it will be another try to that winger, Jimmy Clark. And the Selects take the lead 15 points to 0 with the kick to come. The Independents did very well to get the intercept, but couldn't maintain possession of the ball, and
oh, what's this? Forward pass. The
referees have had a chat, and miraculously we are bringing it back. The AR has spotted a forward pass, so forget all of the commentary I just said. We now have a scrum to the Independents, so a little bit of a sigh of relief there for the Indies boys as they'll look to exit out of their own half. And the score stays 10 points to 0. And penalty to the Indies. Front row collapsing is the call. And Patheli Renikama will look to find touch. And he does so very well. That is a beautiful touch finder from the Independents, number 10. We're around about a quarter of the way through the first half. As the Indies look to try and make a bit of a strike from a set piece. Attacking opportunity as Robinson finds the number 7, Ethan Fryer, in it. Is eventually brought down as a bit of counter-rucking here from Atlantic, but Davidowitz has the ball. Strong carry there from Matt Gash-Gilder as Flynn finds Renikama. Backdoor ball. Breaking one. In through here are the Independents. Good gain line carry there from Kawuma, the number 12. As here's Robinson. Bogsy is his name. Flynn finds Palachek here. Strong. Camp cleans strong as well, but counter-ruck opportunity, and Atlantic snuffle it away and get the kick. But I believe the Indies have decided to play quickly, and they do so as Daly carries. A bit of confusion, but nevertheless rugby's going on as Fryer breaks one, breaks two. Daly, a bit of messy ball. And the number 9 for Atlantic gets his team out of trouble and ankle taps as well. He's doing it all today as the number 9 for Atlantic, Elliot Ryan. Fryer looks to get his team out of a bit of trouble, and Renikama manages to relieve a little bit of pressure, but it all came from the number 9, as mentioned, for Atlantic. A couple of really smart kicks in behind, identifying the space, which in turn got the Independents scrambling on defence, and they've just managed to hold on. And here goes the Selects with a set piece opportunity, probing into the Independents 22, and they bring it down safely and set up for the maul. Ryan finds his big number 8, Liam Carter. Here goes number 6, Austin Comiel. Just happy to slow things down a little bit and set some phases as Alex Forrest manages to get the offload away. Nice pick and go there. Ryan finds Lanthea, tips ball inside to that man again, Liam Carter. Players complaining for a penalty, but the referee obliges, and they continue to move it on forward, and it's been lost there in the tackle, and Tavita Sole for the Independents has the ball now. Kawuma, he is strong as Kawuma gets the offload away to Ethan Fryer. And the penalty comes the Independents' way. Side entry is the call. And Renikama will look to go to touch. And he finds it around about on the 10 metre mark inside the Indies half. and they set the line out, but it's a bit of a wide throw, and the Selects now have the ball back as they decide to bring things a bit wide, and he gets the offload away. Here goes Ryan, feeds it off to his 10, who then gives the short pass on to number 1, Alex Forrest. Now deciding to go wide, and it's a lovely incision into space there, and a little bit of to and fro, but he decides to chip and go himself, and Paul, the big 14 for the Independents, rises with the ball. Here goes Daly on the edge here for the Independents. Fryer breaks 1, breaks 2, and the ball's been stripped loose. Knock on advantage played by the referee. So the Selects will get the ball back. About 27 minutes gone here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and the score remains 10 points to 0 to the Atlantic Selects. Really awesome to be able to have the Atlantic Selects over here in Boston in what is a really good lineup of fixtures upcoming for the Independents, with games on the horizon against New York, Toronto, which is really exciting for these boys to get a taste at playing some high-level representative footy, as the referee decides to have a little bit of a chat with the two captains, just control proceedings.
How about some of these names on the independent squad, Wheels? We have Cody Davidowitz, brother of Cam, local hero.
Rightly so. It's some really recognisable names that you'll see for the Independents. If we go through the list quickly, Soleil has obviously played a number of matches for the Free Jacks men's number 1 team. We've also got Connor Robinson, who's been a great story as well. He's been a development player for the Free Jacks. He trains with them every single day and gets a real good taste of that professional environment, I guess you could say, Brendan.
And a local current college student, isn't that right, Wheels? He goes to BC.
Yes,
Boston
indeed. So it's really good to be able to have these collegiate players getting a taste at some high-level representative rugby.
Jack Palachek there at the back of the scrum, number 8. He's just signed with Dallas. He'll be heading there tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. With Brendan Buckley providing all the insight. Good to have an assistant commentator in the box as Ryan finds Dunscombe. Wrap around play, short ball back to that man, and couldn't quite execute the wide pass out to James Mitchell, the fullback, but he still goes, collecting the scraps. Dunscombe, cut out pass to Keith Graham, the winger for the Selects. Fryer on the ball there for the Indies, and I think he's just come up short at stealing the turnover. As Sinard, the lock, carries. Met in a strong tackle. The Indies defence holding up pretty nicely, and that's a lovely kick again there by the halfback for the Atlantic Selects as Rinakama decides to send it out around the halfway mark, or my eyesight's absolutely shot, so we'll bring it back to the 10. And the Selects have another line out here as Sinard manages to find the man at the back, but it's been lost forward, and Palachek with the counter attack decides to throw it wide, and it looks a good option too as Reece Lawther, the centre for the Indies, takes it up into contact. Here's Flynn finds his fullback Daly on the edge, but unfortunately it's a little bit of messy rugby and couldn't quite set a good platform for the forwards. Another one, obviously Davidowitz, the brother of Cam, who's been a really, really hero for the Free Jacks this year. Such a cool story. Always dreamt of being a professional rugby player, and he's really getting to fulfill that this year and taking his opportunities. Javon Camp, the lock, actually getting an opportunity in Houston, potentially looking to get some game time, which is really exciting. Plenty going on as we go back to scrum time, and it is a pretty strong one from Atlantic, but the ball comes back and they feed it to the 12, Tom Jarman, who carries strongly, making gain line with ease. Dunscombe, cut out pass to Jimmy Clark. He's scored a try today. Always good to get your name on the score sheet early on. And here's the big prop, Alex Forrest. Looks like he's got a decent set of pace too, but Drain, the other number one's got it and then decided I don't want it, so it goes back to Atlantic. Ryan finds his number 7, Sheldon Cudmore. And there were some hands in there from the Independence players, but illegally deemed by the referee. I think not supporting your body weight and off feet was the call. So they will settle things down a bit and decide to take the 3 points. Brendan, I'll bring you in here. Obviously, you've been around the setup for a while. Talk about, I guess, how awesome it is for these boys to be able to play for the Independents.
Yeah, it's just a really great opportunity for the local club players, the local collegiate players to get in with some of these guys who are the larger Free Jacks training squad, as well as, our community coaches, Kanye Bubb, Thomas Clark, Ed Turbity, who have just done a fantastic job of developing some of this local talent and, bringing the here at the Free Jacks, we're all about bringing the local talent up to a higher level. Same thing that we're trying to achieve with our players. So really, it's just all about giving these guys some game time, giving them opportunity to play against some quality sides, and it's a really exciting thing for any local club or collegiate player.
Very well said, as Ryan lines up the shot at goal to add 3 points on the board, but it just drifts out to the right of the upright, so the score remains 10 points to 0. And according to my watch, we have about 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to be joined by Performance Director of the Free Jacks, Tom Kindley, at halftime, as we can talk a little bit more in depth about the Independence program this year as Rinakama restarts things from the 22. And Jimmy Clark, the little nippy winger, with the ball and met by Soleil, one man that I would not like to meet in a front-on tackle, as they bustle forward. Do Atlantic as Dunscombe demands for the ball and he gets it and feeds it off to his lock, Montgomery. Looks like the turnover has been made there. Very well done by Jack Palachek. It was Davidowitz. So the Indies have the ball back and Hugo Flynn finds Connor Robinson, the little pocket rocket. Flynn, Rinakama, Soleil couldn't quite hang on to the ball, and now it's a counter-attacking opportunity for Atlantic. But we will come back for the no advantage, and Atlantic will get the scrum feed off the knock-on from the Indies.
Wills, what do you think the Indies have to do here to gain some control back into this game?
Well, it's a great question there, Bucks. I think they just need to probably slow things down a little bit and just try and set some phases. I think it's just little errors that are turning the ball over, and Atlantic are doing very well to capitalise on those opportunities in the form of some good kicks, and the man that's been doing that, just running with the ball there, finds his man Jimmy Clark. As it's a bit slow, but eventually comes back to the lock. Saif Sanad, I should say. Dunscombe finds his prop, Alex Forrest, the number 1. As Dunscombe looks for a little bit of a wobbly kick in behind, but it's a very nice one, and a great spot tackle there from Keith Graham as Flynn organises his troops and finds Davidowitz, who tips it on to Matt Gash-Gilder. The tackle's been completed, so Flynn feeds it back to his first 5, Rinakama, who sends it high, and they'll look to counter-attack through Keith Graham again, and he gets the offload away to his fullback, who darts on through a little gap. Here goes the big number 12, Tom Jarman. And turn here for Liam Carter, just setting phases. A bit of miscommunication, and again he goes for the little kick. The halfback, he scrapped it up. Great vision. As Atlantic now with a real good attacking opportunity deep into the Independence 22. As they set up, there is space if they can get it there. Forrest, quick hands will do it, and they do indeed go in the corner. It is number 12, Tom Jarman, with the try. 15 points to 0. Unfortunately, Buckley, there was just a bit too much space for them to work with there on the outside, and completed a pretty easy try in the end.
Yep, seems like the Indies need to get a little more folding going on here. Pick their heads up on defense and maybe get a few fresh legs in there in the second half.
Fresh legs, and one of them was supposedly going to be you, Brendan. Will we see you in an Indies jersey this year?
Oh, certainly this year, Wheels. Maybe even today. That is to be determined.
Imagine that, going from the box down on the field with the boots. You don't see that often. The cameraman to player. As Ryan looks to add the icing on the cake, there's probably about a minute and a half left. It's a pretty tough kick from the sideline, so we'll see if he can add it, and he strikes it pretty cleanly. The direction doesn't look too bad, and it is indeed over. That is a lovely kick to bring the score to 17 points to 0. Nearly into referee's time here, probably a minute left on the clock, it says here at Veterans, and Rinakama, that's a very nice restart, and Palachek can't quite control it cleanly, so it's been handed back over to the Atlantic side.
How about those Montana boys on Wheels? We have Matthew Gash-Gilder and Jack Palachek, 2 Lucy Beasts playing for the Independents, standing next to each other right there.
Yeah, looking, and they've obviously had great experience being involved in the Free Jack setup as well, which I think's been a real cool story for this year, is seeing these boys get that sort of professional taste, I guess, on a day-to-day basis, and you can see it translate into their game, as they certainly have improved immensely in such a short period of time.
And as we said earlier, Jack Palachek just signed a multi-week contract with the Dallas Jackals, so he'll be heading down there tomorrow.
Exactly right. It's such a great opportunity for a young player, as you can hear the siren sounding in the background. So this will probably be the last bit of action for the first half, as we have a player down injured, a chance for the players to probably catch a bit of a breath and rehydrate. Of course, this is the first of 2 games here today at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We have the Free Jacks looking to make history today with an MLR winning streak. One more win will do that, and they have the Utah Warriors in their way, who are very much an unpredictable side. They have defeated LA this year in LA, so they certainly are a team that possess some real superstars, and on their day, I'm sure can tip up any given opponent. So the Free Jacks have a big task ahead of them today in what hopefully will be a packed out crowd with plenty of noise. If you haven't got your tickets already, as we see a bit of potentially domestic issues down there on the sideline with Woodgie, we may need some people down there to have a quick look at Woodgie's behavioural issues, but he's doing well. We love Woodgie. As Robinson finds Javon Camp, it's a bit messy, but Ethan Fryer cleans up the scraps, and Atlantic try to steal the ball, but it's secured by Soleil. Here he is. Finds Gash Gilder, and he carries, beats 1, beats 2, eventually brought to ground, and Flynn finds Connor Robinson. They're just trying to really get some good go-for ball, on which they're doing pretty well. Here's Rinakama out to Kawuma, the 12 for the Independents. Soleil, the referee, wants to get involved with contact as well. I do not recommend it with Soleil. Rinakama, flat out pass. Here's the man, Paul, the 14. Manages to get the offload away to Ethan Fryer, who pinballs out of another tackle. Gash Gilder. Flynn. Rinakama, backdoor ball to the fullback. It's pretty good defence from Atlantic, the Free Jacks. Not quite breaking through the 22. And here goes Jordan Drain, the big prop. Gets the tip ball away to Jack Palachek. Here's Kawuma again, the 12. Gash Gilder, quick hands potentially. Sorry, that was Fryer there with the ball. Flynn finds Jordan Drain again. And Javon Camp comes in for the clean and counter-ruck by Atlantic, but
A lot of space to the left there, Wills.
and Javon Camp, we have a naked player on the field, and unfortunately it's messy ball as Camp has his shirt ripped clean, and that'll also end the first half here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Atlantic coming up good so far, 17 points to 0, but Independents certainly have the firepower to get back in this game with a couple of quick tries. We'll see you very soon for another bit of a chat, and we'll bring you a big second half here in Quincy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've had 2 comments.
Yeah. That's great stuff.
Great comments. All right, the mic is live.
The mic is live, and sorry for your eyesight, but I've managed to get the performance director for the Free Jacks in for a little bit of a chat. TK, obviously really exciting to be able to have the Independents back on Veterans Memorial and playing against a Canadian side. Talk to me a little bit about this Independents program that's coming up.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to have kind of 5 meaningful, like pretty decent competition games, you know, ahead of these boys. So this is the first one, Atlantic All-Stars. We're really grateful that they've made the effort to assemble and get down here. Obviously it's a big trip from up that way, Nova Scotia. So yeah, really grateful that they've come down and, you know, they're putting on a bit of a clinic today, which has been really good for our boys. We've got New York home and away, Toronto away, which will be an awesome trip for our lads, and then Legacy Rugby Academy from Michigan coming next week. So yeah, good string of games for these fellas.
Yeah, a really good string of games. And talk to me about, there's obviously a few players out there, the likes of Matt Gash-Gilder, Jack Palachek, Connor Robinson, who are actually getting a taste of that professional environment as well.
Yeah, no, that's been a big, it's been something we've, you know, really worked on this year, is building our squad depth and our, you know, ability to have big numbers in training. So the boys you just mentioned in there, obviously, you know, a few of them are putting their hands up today. Jack Palachek's playing really well. He's actually off to Dallas, signed for Dallas, and he's off tomorrow after this game. So that's an awesome opportunity for some of our development boys who have been training with us week in, week out, getting better. Now they've got a stage to play. It's streamed. There's video. They can clip their highlights, and you know, away you go. You're on your rugby journey. So yeah, definitely some boys that have stood out. Javon Kemp's having a great day out there as well. So yeah, really enjoying it.
And before you go, obviously this is the first of 2 fixtures here today at Veterans. The Free Jacks up against Utah, 4:30 kickoff. How's the team been building towards that one? Excited?
Yeah, definitely excited, mate. I think 7 on the trot now, so yeah, we've got an opportunity to create some history, which is pretty special. But at the end of the day, it's just another rugby game. We've got to keep doing what we've been doing. Stick to what we know, and they're a good side. Utah, they've got heaps of firepower, heaps of players with heaps of X factor, particularly in the outside back. So, you know, hopefully we can contain them and get the job done today.
Great stuff. And speaking of outside backs, it has been rumoured that potentially in the spring/fall you may be putting on the boots and maybe having a return.
Shit, I don't know about that, mate. You know, I think these boys are, no, I don't deserve to be out there, mate. So we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, okay. I thought maybe we'd get it out of him, but yeah, maybe not. Good stuff. That is Performance Director Tom Kindly. He's got to go prepare for a massive match against Utah. The boys are going to be into a bit of a pre-match meal, so go the Jacks. I'm really excited. Good stuff. You are playing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Give the fans what they want.
And here they come, Wills.
And here come the Independent side, returning back onto the field, led out by Ethan Fry, the number 7, and of course they will swap ends, and the Independents will play towards the concession stand end, we'll call it that, and Atlantic will have the Jumbotron in front of them in the second half.
captains are having a little chat with the server there, Reels. What do you think they're talking about?
Yeah, the referee probably just looking to set a bit of a standard for the second half. Obviously, he had to have a couple of discussions in the first half, so he'll be wanting to make sure that he doesn't have to do that again, essentially. As it will be the Independents who will kick off the second half. And the referee blows his whistle as Pasali Ranakama gets things back underway. And Ethan Fryer comes up with the ball for the Independents as Javon Camp back out past to Kawuma. The big 12 for the Indies, who's carried pretty well today, as Jordan Drain also drives the legs and looks to set a platform for Hugo Flynn, the number 9. Here's Davidowitz. Breaks through one tackle and manages to set the platform for Ranakama. Bit of space. Still going at a very good age. Here's Sole. Tip pass to Davidowitz. This looks promising for the Indies if they can manage to maintain possession as Gash Gilder carries to Kawuma. Backdoor pass. He goes through the gap. Here's the 12 for the Indies. The ball still in play as Flynn finds Connor Robinson. The hooker for the Indies. Here's Ranakama, the 10. Finds Sole on a wide pass. Lovely line. Can't quite break through the strong Atlantic wall as Ranakama. Backdoor play. Here's the 13 for the Indies out on the wing. It was Reese Lawther. And the referee says that goes backwards, so we play on, and Jordan Drain with the ball in hand again. Flynn finds Ewitts, the fullback for the Independents. There's Robinson again. Carries strongly. Very happy to as well as Connor Robinson. And the referee has spotted an infringement, and a quick tap through Kawuma, the 12. Has he got over the line? The referee getting in to have a close look as they pick and go, and the Independents think they have gotten over. And the referee disagrees and calls held up. So the Atlantic team will have a goal line dropout, and they go quickly. And that is lovely done as well. That is a good kick there. I think it was potentially Jimmy Clark or the number 9 for Atlantic who cleared that one out. And Connor Robinson will set the ball for the Independents. Their first line out of the second half. As Javon Camp collects it cleanly, finds Flynn, who finds Vinnie Daly. Winger for the Free Jacks. And backwards is the call. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on there, but here we go. A bit of space for the Indies, and a penalty advantage is also being played by the referee, and this is a good little period of play so far for the Independents. I'm joined by Harvey Martin, who is fullback for the Boston Irish Wolfhounds. Plays a bit of first 5 too. He's found himself on the camera. How are you enjoying it, Harvey?
Oh, great day. Sunny day out. Perfect conditions. We've seen some good rugby, and that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about. Well said. And it looks like there is a Independence player, or an Atlantic player rather, down there on the far touchline. So we'll just have a little bit of a stoppage in play while that player gets attended to. as it looks like the ball has been handed back to Atlantic. Maybe some communication in there from the assistant referee to overturn the decision, and Atlantic will clear it with a 22-metre dropout. Or potentially a penalty. Nope, 22. As Jackson Everts, the fullback for the Indies, carries, and it goes to Janesqui, who finds his winger Vinny Daly. Here's Camp. Everts again. Daly tried to find Jack Palachek on the outside, but couldn't complete the passes. Connor Robinson, he's carried well today. Has the man Bogsy, Flynn, Rinakama space if they can get it, but backwards was the call. It did look like a forward pass, but play on nevertheless, and the ball's still kept in hand by the Independents as they look to play, as Flynn finds Rinakama. The first 5, show and go. Look at him go. Patheli, Rinakama. Hot step. Lovely vision decision. Ethan Fryer carrying on the edge. And here's Jordan Drain. Flynn finds Rinakama again. Inside ball to Tavita Sole. Pick and go there very smartly by Connor Robinson. Stealing his team another 5 metres. Now looking to settle it down as they pick and go through Sole again. And here goes Ethan Fryer, the 7, going very close to the line. In fact, he got over, but it was in turn held over, so that means we are going back for another goal line dropout. Very good defence by Atlantic. That's 2 times they've managed to hold up the Independent swarm close to the line. About nearly 8 minutes gone in the second half. The score remains 17 points to 0. Atlantic here over the Independents. As the referee, we've got a player down being attended to, so another wee bit of a hydration break for the players, which is always very much appreciated. As it's almost time to restart play with the goal line dropout. And back underway as Ryan sends it deep, and it's collected by the 11, Vinny Daly, who decides to carry and finds Ethan Fryer on a cutout pass on the edge. Robinson carries again and does well. Very, very accurate. Here's Kawuma, backdoor pass, and it's shuffled on very nicely. There's a new man on the field. out there for the Indies. Number 17, just trying to get a bit of clarity as to who that is. Mike Weiss is the call from my assistant commentator. Also out of the Wolfhounds club. Good to see some of our club players sprinkled in throughout this independent side. As Robinson, good chance here for the Indies to strike off set piece as they bring it down and set for the drive. It's at the back with Robinson, and it's moving at a great rate of knots too. Atlantic got to be careful here not to infringe. As they move it forward, here go the Indies, and it's brought down. Interesting to see if it was legally done so. And here we go now. Here's Matt Gash-Gilder, breaks one, breaks two, and the try is scored. A very powerful man with ball in hand. That is a much needed try for the Independents. And it took one of their star players to do it. As he pierced onto the ball nicely and bet one defender. And managed to plant it through the end zone as Flynn, the halfback, dots on the extra 2 points. And all of a sudden, things get a little bit more interesting. 17 points to 7. 11 and a half minutes gone. We have ourselves a ball game, and it all started from a very, very well constructed maul that really absorbed the Atlantic defensive line, and in turn Gash-Gilder broke away with a short pass and managed to get the first try of the day for the Free Jacks Independent side. As Jackson Ryan, the number 9, Elliot Ryan rather, sorry, will look to restart play for Atlantic, and there is about 12 people in front of the kicker there, so the Independents will get the ball back, and we don't see too many of those called very regularly in games, but I think that one was pretty clear cut and a nice one from the referee, as they were all not very well timed on their run, and Rinakama clears it for the Independents, and it is a very lovely touch finder. As they set up, and it's been stolen by Atlantic, and Ryan finds his 10, Dunscombe, who in turn clears out the pressure as well. And the Independents will get the ball back through Connor Robinson. As Davidowitz looks to clear it, but unfortunately couldn't quite do so. And the ball here for a counter-attacking opportunity. It's Keith Graham on the outside for Atlantic, and he breaks through, and he's got far too much speed, and he dots it down in the try zone for a very well constructed counter-attacking try by Atlantic. The Independents couldn't quite snuffle the ball off the line out, and Atlantic identified the space out wide very nicely, and Graham had to beat one defender and showed a clean pair of heels to move the score out to 22 points to 7 with a kick to come. And I believe we have a change and kicker for the Atlantic side. I'll just get confirmation on who that is when I see his number on the back. Strikes it pretty nicely, but even better with the accuracy as it slides on through the uprights. 24 points to 7. Atlantic over the Independents, and I think it was that man, 23, Johnny Cullen, who added the 2. Looks like he has replaced the number 9, who I thought had a very, very tidy game for the select side. As the selects, Cullen through Dunscombe looks to clear it deep, and Rinakama and Daly look to combine and clean up the scraps, but unfortunately it was very messily done, and the selects get the ball, and there's a bit of heckling going on in the crowd, just a bit of heckling picked up on the microphone. And the selects have the ball back with a good opportunity to attack the Independents defensive line, and here is Cullen, feeds it into the scrum, and it's pretty stable and strong, who finds the 13 with a backdoor ball out wide. Bit of space if they can construct it. Here's Graham again, the try scorer, but the pass didn't quite get collected accurately, so the Independents will get the ball back. Harvey, any players that have stood out for you so far in the game from either side?
Number 9 from Atlantic.
Yep.
Standout player. Great kicking game, good passing. And then number 14, great try. Can't teach speed.
Yep. There you have it. 9 and 14 are the men chosen, and I do agree they've both had very strong games, and the Independents with the ball now, and it's fed in by Flynn, the halfback. It comes out now for Pathali. Rinakama, can he find Daly out wide? He can, and Daly brushes off one and looked for the offload, but rightfully chose to keep it in hand, and we are now seeing a bit of football by Davidowitz, and Atlantic have the ball back, and Wallace is ranging again. Graham, rather. Here goes Forrest, the big prop for Atlantic, and Graham's got the ball on the far edge, but there is a knock on. So the Independents will get the ball back. It's a little bit stop-starty at the moment. And the score remains, if you're just joining us, 24 points to 7. The Atlantic side. It'll be interesting to see if the Independents look to potentially use their bench. There's about just over 20 minutes remaining in the fixture here, as Atlantic rotate a couple of players. as Flynn feeds it into the scrum and finds Rinakama. Here's Kawuma and throws a tip-on pass to, I think we have a new man on the field there. And it's a loose pass there. And Daly can't quite collect it, so Atlantic will get the ball back. Ethan Fryer steals it and Davidowitz look to also claim it, and I think the Independents have managed to still keep the ball in hand, and a penalty has been spotted by the referee for off feet, which means the Indies will get the chance to clear it deep into the Atlantic half through the boot of Rinakama. And he does so ably. Rinakama, obviously another one who has represented the Free Jacks senior side in the past, and now involved in quite a bit of coaching with the organisation, but has recently been pulled out of retirement to train with the Free Jacks on the back of a couple of injuries, and now we see him out there in the number 10 jersey for the Independents. So it's great stuff. It is really great stuff. As the Indies set the maul again, it did so well for them in the last try, and it's brought to ground by Atlantic. And the ball comes out very slowly, but a penalty's been spotted. So the Indies will look to play on, but there's a little bit of push and shoving and a bit of man-hugging going on. And the referee will have a chat to the two captains about that as well. Harvey, you would have been involved in a bit of man-hugging in your time, a bit of scuffle.
Always good.
Always good, isn't it? It's
we
good.
have a few new Wolfhounds coming into the game. So we can see Paul Taylor, 21, coming in at flanker. John Landers, 16 at hooker. And then on the wing, Nolan Joyce.
Great to see some of the Irish Wolfhounds players getting an opportunity in the Independence jersey. And hopefully they can be influential and potentially getting a few more tries and getting the Indies back into this game. The score is currently 24 points to 7, so they will need to do so pretty quickly, as we have another bit of a drinks break. The penalty stays the same, so Pasali Rinakama will look to find touch for the Independents, and he does so inside the 22, so it'll be the new man with the ball in hand,
John
Landers for the Independents, the reserve hooker. Throws it in and does so, and the maul set for the Indies. But counter driven by Atlantic, and it's still going here for the Indies as Flynn, the halfback, looks to muster his troops as it still edges forward. The ball's there. Here's Gash Gilder, the try scorer for the Indies. Already got one to his name today. He'll be wanting to get two as Rinakama. Short pass off to Kawuma. He's run strong all day, but he's tackled ably. And here's Fryer another one who's been a part of the Canadian youth setup, I believe, involved in an academy-style system there. As Flynn taps and goes and finds one of the new men on the field, Mike Weiss, in the yellow headgear. The Indies really probing this Atlantic line now. As Fryer comes out with the ball, bounces off 1, 2, very close to the line, Ethan Fryer. Weiss, that man again. You can't miss his headgear. Davidowitz almost over the line. It's going to take Kawuma. Try time for the Indies. And very well deserved. It was the 12, Adnan Kawuma. The Fords really did well to set the platform, and in turn it sucked in the defenders, which left a nice bit of open space for Kawuma to receive a short pass and find himself on the score sheet. 24 points to 12. Kick to come. Good distance, but radar needs readjusting by Flynn, and it's 24-12, but the Indies are right back in this game with a quick try. 26 minutes gone. Relatively chilly conditions here at Veterans now. Just that wind making things a little bit difficult for the boys as the Independents make a change at halfback. Number 23, Thon, onto the field. He's a crafty wee player. As Atlantic restart play through their halfback, Cullen, the replacement. Carries well as it's cleared out by the Indies 9. Breaking tackles here very nicely on the edge. The Indies, and it's muffled gone here. John Landers. Flynn looks like he's shifted into 10, and he will get the opportunity here to find touch. Hugo, it's been pretty influential for the Indies so far today at 9, and now we'll get the opportunity at 10. He runs a little bit of that during training, so he'll be very familiar with the role. Of first 5. With Patheli Renakama still on the field. Looks like he may have shifted into the fullback position. And we are back to line-out time as Ethan Fryer manages to get the ball back for the Independents, and it's brought down pretty messily, but in turn it's still there as it's carried in by Landers. And the penalty's been spotted. As we hear some disagreement in the crowd, but unfortunately they are not the ones with the whistle, so we continue on as Rinakama finds touch again into the 22 for the Independents. Quick try here, Harvey, and it's game on.
Yes, we're hoping for to end with a bang.
As John Landers, the hooker, replacement for the Indies, throws it in, and it's pretty accurate and nicely taken down there as they set for the drive again. It's worked pretty well for them. This one's a little bit more messy and managed to clear out though, and here's Kawuma, the try scorer, very strong, gets the offload away to Daly. There is numbers out to the left if it's quick ball, which it's not, so Flynn finds Rinakama, hot step, nearly goes through a gap. As Davidowitz carries on, Daly tips past, met strongly in a tackle. Here's Palachek. He's had a very good game today, carried strong, Jack Palachek. Here goes the new man on the field. for the Indies. And it's kicked away by Atlantic. I was a bit caught blindsided as to what happened there, but they've managed to scruffle it away downfield. As the Indies take down the line out, the referee has his arm out for advantage. I think the man taken potentially in the air or not releasing. And Rinakama will look to clear again. The Indies really getting a good string of penalties here. We haven't really seen much of an attacking opportunity from Atlantic in quite some time, through some disciplinary issues for Atlantic as we wait for the ball on the sideline. Here goes Landers. Bit of an overthrow, but it's snuffled up by Tessia, the new man on the field, and Daly gets the ball, but it goes backwards. Does it? It's been called a penalty holding on by the referee. Looked like the call, or obstruction, sorry, rather. So Atlantic will get a penalty, which we haven't seen in a while. The score 24 points to 12. Atlantic in front. And they look to find touch and do so around about 5 metres out from the 22 metre line of the Independents. Unsure how much time we have left. The clock says 7 minutes, but we have had a couple of stoppages due to injury, so potentially closer to 10. As Atlantic get the ball down, and a bit of confusion, so he goes himself. The pod's set up and Palachek makes a good spot tackle. So the ball's wide now through Dunscombe, and Graham has to clean up the scraps again. He's had to do that a couple times today, but he does well and he goes strongly. Cullen finds the replacement lock for Atlantic. Dunscombe kicks it through and gets the ball back himself, and little Boxy charge down and play on is the call. And Thorn, the wee halfback, he's away. Can he go all the way? What sort of pace has he got? He's brought down, but he gives the offload to Fryer. Skips through 1, 2. And still going. Space if they can get it. They'll have to get it out quick. Daly, the winger for the Independents with the ball. Breaks 1, breaks 2. Still going. Eventually brought to ground. Here come the Independents. Gash Gilder. Shifts it off to Fryer. Breaks 1, 2. Here's Ethan Fryer. Here's Palachek through another. Very close to the Indies. Quick hands will do it. Kawuma. One pass and he goes in for his double. It is game on at Veterans. Adnan Kawuma very deserving of a second try today. He's been strong with ball in hand, strong defensively. That moves the score to 24 points to 17 with a kick to come. Definitely time on this clock for the Indies to try and snatch victory, and Hugo Flynn, the 9, converts it, so 24-19. Really encouraging stuff by the Independence bench. Bringing some good impact and keeping the Indies in this fight. Here go the selects. 5-point buffer against the Independents, and Fryer collects the pill and breaks through. Here's Ethan Fryer. Puts the step on and manages to stay in play. Lovely stuff. It's a messy ball, but the Indies still manage to maintain possession. As Flynn demands the ball and he gets it. Here's Kawuma, the try scorer. Goes again. As the Indies just look to stay patient and settle it down, and Palachek busts onto the ball, almost loses control, but manages to keep it cleanly. 24-19 the score. Good defense from Atlantic. Flynn decides for the kick option, and we've had a man taken off the ball here, and that is the correct call by the referee to come back for this, and he might have a bit of a chat as well.
Breaks through. Here's Ethan Fryer. Puts the step on and manages to stay in play. Lovely stuff.
As we saw a bit of a no arms tackle off the ball. The clock says 2 minutes to go, but I suspect there may be closer to 4 or 5 as we have an exciting end to the game in store here. Don't leave your seats, don't leave your laptops. As the Indies find touch. And the ball has been stolen there by Atlantic at the line out. And they look to play. Cullen, the halfback, trying to find his troops. It's been knocked on. The Indies will get the ball back, and there is still time on the clock. But Harvey, you probably do suspect that they don't have much more time. This is a really key attacking play.
Yep, key play off a scrum. I'm sure they've planned a set piece move, and let's see if it works out for them.
It's great stuff there from Harvey Martin, our expert commentator, as the Indies look to snatch this from the grasps of the Atlantic players, and it's fed into the scrum, and it's strong from Atlantic, very strong from Atlantic. The ball comes out. Here's Palachek down the right side, gets the offload away. But the pass is called forward. And the hooter sounds in the background. But there is still time on the clock. Be interesting to see how long that is, but all the Atlantic Select side will need to do is kick it out. 24-19, and we hear a bit of rock music on the background. That means things are starting to really rev up here at Veterans. 1.5 minutes to play. I've just had a text come through, so there is still time. Of course, we've got the inaugural Flag Frenzy Festival on after this, the Flag Frenzy Festival. As Atlantic feed the ball into the scrum. It's pretty strong from the Indies. As Dunscombe feeds it deep, and it's a good kick. And the counter chase comes up. And the big boy's got it, the prop. Forrest, cut out pass. It's magic. Oh, good tackle there by the replacement for the Indies. As they try and rustle it away. Atlantic couldn't maintain possession, and interesting decision there. There's complaints of a knock-on coming left, right and centre. And there's still time on the clock. And here the Indies, you'd think this is probably their last grasp chance, and the throw is not straight. So it will be a scrum to Atlantic.
Run it out, boys, run it out. Atlantic couldn't maintain position.
2 minutes to go is the call now. My timing's inaccurate, so we have more gameplay opportunity. As it's taken away here by Atlantic. Setting phases. Really looking to wind down the clock and get their pick and go set. Atlantic now decide to go wide. You'd think we're probably into the last minute of the game, 30 seconds. It's been knocked on. Probably the last chance here for the Indies. The ref blows his whistle. What does he say? I think there is more time. Harvey, this is it, isn't it, really? This is probably the last chance for the Indies to snatch victory.
This is it. Last play. They've got to go the 50 yards, keep possession, and be patient.
That is all very true stuff. Palachek down the short side. He had man on him. Flynn, the halfback, gets the ball in. Here's the winger for the Indies. He's unfortunately been pushed in. That'll be full time, I would think. or potentially last play. Just couldn't quite keep his feet in. In Atlantic, all they need to do is kick it out and secure victory here in Quincy. And he looks to do so. And they do so. Congratulations to the Atlantic Selects. They got the win here today, 24 points to 19. Gallant effort in a comeback by the Independents, but just coming up short on the back of a very strong first half and some individual brilliance. Congratulations and safe travels to the Atlantic side, and thank you very much for tuning in to this live stream. We'll see you next time. Cheers, Harvey. That's how it's done, mate. In and out.
Uh-oh.